Hi, I'm Teresa and this is Celebration Elevation. Today we're going to make Tom and Jerry. It is one of my favorite things about Christmas time. We always make it, you could make it any time of year, but I don't know, we make it only at Christmas time. I guess it's got those Christmas spices in it. So it's a hot drink and you make the batter for it and then you can just add milk or water and it's delicious. And I think if you like chai lattes from Starbucks, it's kind of reminiscent of that flavor. So if you like that, you'll definitely like this. Keep watching and we will give you the full recipe and show you how to make it. Okay, so we're gonna get started on the recipe. So this recipe calls for 6 eggs and they're separated. So I have 6 yolks in here, whites of 6 eggs in here. I did it ahead of time. And one tip I want to give you is when you are using eggs in a recipe, always take like a separate bowl and crack your egg into that bowl before you put it in the bowl you're going to be using for your recipe, because first of all you could get a shell in there, something that's hard to get out. It's easier if you're just dealing with one egg. Another thing is sometimes you crack an egg, I don't know if it's ever happened to you, you open it up and it looks kind of like it's maybe gross. I don't know what to say. It's like, looks like little blood clots or something. I don't know. Anyway, I throw those away. So I just want to make sure that the egg is correct. Then I put it in my recipe. Just a little tip for you. Okay, so we're gonna get started with the whites, and we are gonna whip these whites into really firm peaks. I'm going to get this put together and we'll get started whipping the egg whites. And then I will speed this up so you don't have to watch how it goes, but you'll get to see the finished product. So let's get started on that. I might want to plug it in. Okay. Well, there we go. Plugged in, ready to go. Okay. What the heck? Okay, my GFCI is apparently working very well. Okay, I just want to show you, when they say stiff peaks need to form, I just want to show you, this is not it. You see how they forms like a peak, but then it just falls back in. So that's not it. So we're going to keep going, and then I'll show you when it's completely finished. Okay, we now have it at stiff peaks, and I will show you the difference. So before, you noticed when I lifted up the beater, they kind of formed peaks, but then they melted away. This is what it looks like when they're stiff peaks, and you can see it just holds its form in the bowl. So that is, we're finished with our egg whites, and then we're gonna get started on the egg yolks. Okay, so we got our egg whites finished. That was easy. And it doesn't take too long, maybe, I don't know, took maybe 5 minutes. So those are the egg whites, as I was saying. Now we're gonna do the egg yolks. And hopefully when I plug my mixer in, it will actually, it will actually turn on. Maybe I'll plug it in. We'll try that. We have this. So like I was saying, we made Tom and Jerry mix as a kid. My dad used to make it at Christmas time, and you put a little bit of, you can put brandy in this or you can put rum for flavor, and it just takes a little for flavoring in the mix, and it's totally fine for kids to drink it. It's completely diluted in your mixture, but then the adults would actually pour into their coffee mug, they'd pour a little of the batter, and then they'd pour some extra brandy or rum, and then you can put in some water or milk. That fun comes later. But right now we're gonna mix these up until they are sort of soft peaks, I guess. I will show you what it looks like when we get it to the place we want it to. But so for right now, it's just regular egg yolks in a bowl, and I'll show you in a minute. Okay, so we have our yolks. So basically, you just want to whip them until they are a lighter color. They're sort of almost like a foamy consistency. And there, can you see them? So that's what they look like. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add the spices, the fun part, because now I get to act like it's my cooking show. So we take 3/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, put that into we're mixing these into the egg whites, and then 1/4 teaspoon of cloves, and then 1/4 teaspoon of allspice, and then 1/2 teaspoon of cream of tartar. And I don't know if you've worked with cream of tartar before or if you know what it is. It's basically, it's potassium hydrogen tartrate. And I guess that's how they got the tartar. And it's used usually as a stabilizing agent, like when you're doing things with egg whites, things like that, like if you're making a lemon meringue pie. So what it basically is going to do is keep the egg whites from melting throughout the batter. That's just something that gets added in. It's in the spice section, although it tastes like, I don't know, bitter. I had to try it. But that's what you do with that. And then we're gonna take 1 ounce of rum. Well, actually, this is a little bit more than an ounce. This is what my dad used to use. This was actually his little, I love this. It's so cute. It's a little wine barrel. And so, and I guess in the bartending world, they call it a jigger. And so my dad always used to say 1/2 a jigger. I usually do a little bit more than 1/2, but you can do a little less than 1/2. And I use white rum. You can use Myers dark rum if you want. I just use the light white rum. So mix that up in there too. So then once we get that mixed up, we're going to add these egg whites, the egg yolks with all the spices. We're going to add those into the egg whites. And then we're going to fold them in. And if you're not familiar with that term, folding is different than mixing, because basically what we did is we incorporated a bunch of air into the egg whites, and that's what made them fluffy and made the stiff peaks form and everything. So we don't want to take all that air out by just mixing it up in a just circular way. So what you want to do when you're folding is you put it in here, and then you're just taking from the bottom and folding it up. So it's just like this. You're just folding the mixture together. So you want to just keep going around until it's incorporated, but definitely don't want to do this with it. So just, you keep going from the bottom and pulling it up, and that is what folding it in is. So once we finish this, we are going to put this back with the mixer, and we're going to add 2 pounds of powdered sugar. And I know that sounds like a lot, but when you finish this batter, I mean, it makes like 70 servings or something like that. So you're just putting like a tablespoon or 2 into each mug, and then you're filling the rest with milk or water, and then a little bit of alcohol if you want to. So you can see it's still staying fluffy when I'm mixing it like this. The powdered sugar goes in. Like I said, this looks like a ton. I know, it is a ton. I mean, that's a lot of sugar. And for those of you who are all natural cooking tablespoon. Probably not the recipe for you. Because yeah, it's just white sugar. It's just once a year, right? It's really good. So I'm going to put this back on the mixer, just give it a little whip up again, and then I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so finished with the batter. I want to show you also, this is so cute. So when my husband and I were first together, I remember it was a Christmas time and we said, hey, you want to try some Tom and Jerry? He'd never heard of it. The name Tom and Jerry, because when you think of Tom and Jerry, you think of the cat and the mouse and the cartoon, right? Well, a lot of people have never heard of this drink, and at one point I thought, well, maybe this is just like my family made up this drink and it's just in our family. But no, it's not. And I looked it up why it was named that, and it says the drink's name is a reference to Egan's book Life in London, or the day and night scenes of Jerry Hawthorne, Esquire, and his elegant friend Corinthian Tom in 1821. And so it was a stage play developed in London. So that's where it got the name. And then it became very popular because you add alcohol to it. So people really liked that. My husband last year for Christmas found one of these old Tom and Jerry bowls and sets with cups. So cute. Didn't know they existed. I love that so much. And so that's what we will be always serving it in from now on. So this is what the batter looks like. It's pretty thick. And then just to warn you, after you're gonna keep this in your refrigerator, and you can keep it for 2 weeks. And when you keep it in your refrigerator, you're gonna want to mix it up when you take it out of the fridge, because it's gonna separate. So it's gonna sort of have like a thicker layer on top, more the whipped layer on top, and then the thicker batter part on the bottom. So you're gonna fold it together again when you get that out. So then when you wanna drink this, you're just gonna take a little tablespoon, you're gonna put 1 to 2 tablespoons in here, and then fill it with, probably for these little mugs, I would do 1 tablespoon. Then you're gonna fill it with some hot water or hot milk. I prefer the milk. And then if you wanna add a little dab of rum or brandy, you can do that too. And it's delicious. This is a great thing to add to your celebrations, whether it's for Christmas or New Year's, or it could be used anytime throughout the year, but it's a really nice warm drink in the evening. So I hope you enjoy it, and I will list the recipe below. Thank you, and have a great Christmas.